flammable. Keep my click tight and isolated like we cannibals. There's so many bros who think infinity is tangible. All these fucking chains, you would think I'm wearing manacles. Yeah, bitch, tell me what's happening. They so big, I'm turning closer to the Grand Canyon. All my haters pussy like a keeper style of sand. Keep it old school, I might pull up with a can.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3, Breaking Balls, Deflating Balls podcast. I'm your host, Tony B. Got my co-host, Jamie D. Jamie, how are you?
What's up, guys?
How was your weekend?
What did I do this weekend? I don't even remember. Wasn't eventful.
Surely you can muster something that you did this weekend. That's
I didn't hit a car. I didn't get into an
you
accident.
didn't break up another U-Haul.
Oh, yeah. It's still in court.
Yeah, my weekend was fine. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, how'd y'all do? What'd you work? No?
No, this weekend? Fuck no, I don't work on the
What are you
weekend.
doing this weekend, though? Labor Day.
Not working. Probably drinking.
Can we go to the pool?
You
Take
wanna
the
go?
baby pool. We all go to the pool. Go to Amanda's mom's.
Really, we could do that?
Yeah.
Oh, in Paulding?
Yeah.
What day?
Probably Sunday.
Sunday?
We do Sunday every morning. I'm not working.
I could do Sunday.
All right. Anyway.
Live stream from the pool.
Yeah, that from the pool. Oh yeah, so we got a show to do.
Is there football?
No. Oh yeah, Saturday's NCAA.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah. But yeah, so here we are, episode 3. We're gonna give you latest news, all the goings ons that happened. There's some big stories, and I don't know if it's that we're getting good at this or this shit's just going unraveling, but it's just like these stories are just falling into our hands. Some things happen that are going to be really interesting that we're going to talk about here. And we also have a full AFC preview. We've been working real hard on this all day, taking lots of notes. We're supposed to be the AFC guys, so I think we're going to go ahead and be able to hit this one pretty dang well. The first thing that happened, you actually broke it to me first, was you texted me, I think it was a Thursday or a Friday or Friday. We're like, hey bro, do you see what happened in Rams and Bengals? I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened? Like, you were literally, and then I'm like, okay. He's like, there was a fight in a scrimmage during practice. I'm like, first question I had was, they're doing a joint scrimmage practice?
I feel like that's not ever a good idea.
No, and I understand, the whole thing that you want to have, especially during a shortened preseason, you want to have two teams that, can scrimmage each other, get stuff on film for the kids trying to make the team. But when you have the two teams that are playing each other in preseason that week, and then doing 2 or 3 scrimmage games, because that's kind of what they are. There's like scrimmage games throughout the week against each other. You're gonna have some sort of fights. You're gonna have some scrums.
Somebody's gonna chop block. Somebody's gonna
someone's gonna do something. And I'm expecting that. But what I didn't expect was the video I saw, because I had no idea what had happened. I'm coming in. This had just broken, so I hit Twitter and it says video of fight during practice. I watched the video.
So bad,
bro. I watched the video and I'm like, okay, looks like a little scrum. And then I started seeing helmets getting swung, and I mean, like,
by one person though.
By what? Yeah, I didn't know that at the time. But
I thought there was multiple people throwing helmets. It was one
person, and they're swinging helmets and they're connecting. Like, it isn't just like, you missed it, blah blah. And they're connecting. And then of course, as the day went over, started going further into the day, we saw that it was Aaron Donald dual wielding 2 Cincinnati Bengals helmets and smashing guys with the helmets. And like I said, they were connecting.
Which I was listening to the radio. I've been listening to a lot of sports radio now, just trying to keep up. All they talk about is Atlanta, which kills me. But they're not going to do anything to him. The NFL's not going to do. They're like practice. If it happened in a game, they might have fined him or something. But like Sean McVay went out there and said, like, nobody got hurt. Like, it is what it is.
So here's my whole thing on that. I understand what people are saying. The NFL doesn't have jurisdiction over practices or something, and then they're leaving it up to the teams to police themselves. But it's like, dude, I understand that, but what happens when Aaron Donald swings a helmet and hits Jamar Chase in the head and breaks his neck?
Well, yeah, I think there'd be repercussions if somebody was hurt, but as far as just
so if there's repercussions if he's hurt, then obviously the NFL has jurisdiction over practices.
Well, yeah, that would be like the NFL telling that organization, like, yo, you got to do something.
Yeah.
You're gonna,
but I don't understand why they didn't do that in the first place. And I understand the Rams are handling it internally. It's going to be a punishment that, it's not being announced to the public. They're doing something. I'm probably going to fine them like $10. I mean, this guy's a multi-gajillionaire at this point in his career, and he's a great defensive lineman. I love Aaron Donald. I think he's awesome. I think he's an animal. But I mean, this shit was this was out of hand, and I wish something else would have came of
But
it.
did you see what led up to it?
No, yeah, they were saying that they were having a few fights throughout like the other scrimmages.
So there
too.
could have been other stuff. All we see is him swinging helmets. Like, you don't
Yeah.
understand what happened
Yeah.
pre-helmets.
Yeah, that's what they say about Myles Garrett too. Because when you watch the video about Myles Garrett, you think, oh, this guy just went crazy and hit a guy with a helmet. No, dude.
There's reasons.
Mason Rudolph kicked him in the balls before that. So that's a very appropriate response. But yeah, so that happened. That is what it is. Aaron Donald's not going to get no games. So that's not really going to affect anything. But stupid idea to have them scrimmaging each other. Next up, we had unfortunate incident that broke Sunday, I believe it was. Brian Robinson, which I thought the battle in Washington was between if there was a battle between Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick. But apparently this Brian Robinson kid's been showing out, and they're saying he's going to be the starting running back for this team. So the day goes on, and we're told that he was shot. So someone had shot the Commander's new starting running back, and it turns out it was during a carjacking, right? And it was a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old that shot him. He got shot once in the hip, and he got shot once in the knee.
Yeah, I didn't really read too much into that. I just looked at the headlines. I mean, it's unfortunate for him.
But that's what happens. Luckily, he's okay. He had to get surgery to get the bolts, I guess, out or fix out whatever that was damaged in the knee. I don't really know the extent of the injuries themselves. Unknown timetable for him to return. So it's going to be back to Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick.
Which Gibson should be the starter.
Gibson should be the starter. But yeah, I hadn't even heard of this Brian Robinson kid, but apparently he's been showing out. So, I mean.
Yeah, he's been doing. There's been a lot of like standouts that they just had to cut the roster down today at 4 p.m. So there's been a lot of people you're going to see making practice squads and stuff like that. Really had good spring training. You can't put them in yet.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. I mean, it sucks that he got shot, but I mean, good that he's able to show out a little bit and make a name for himself there in training camp. Next up, we had the Bills punter, Matt. How do you say his name? Araiza?
Is that Araiza? I think.
Araiza? But yeah, Matt Araiza. How can I can't get the comments thing out.
That's what there it goes.
There we go. Yeah. That was a funny thing too, because Travis was in our league, and he picked Brian Robinson both days. Both days. He picked him in my draft, and he picked him in George's draft. And literally after the draft was on Sunday, and he picked him and found out 10 minutes later he got shot. Sucks, dude. Just the worst luck, Travis. So bad. But yeah, so the Bills punter, Matt Araiza. Some news came out. A civil lawsuit was filed that stated apparently when Matt Araiza was in, I guess what college did
San Diego State.
San Diego State. Him and some other guys gang raped a 17-year-old.
This originally happened. Looking at the reports, I heard a little bit more October of last year. So it's almost been a full year since like the allegations, and now just something happened about it.
Yeah, and I also had read that she did file a police report the next day after it happened. So, whether she says that she was in and out of consciousness during it, could have been like a roofie kind of incident, but I mean, who knows really what happened, but it's alleged right now. But Bills went ahead and said they had no clue about it, which I highly doubt, because these teams go through a very extensive vetting process.
They do, yeah. They know what's going on if there's any open cases, which was an open investigation at the time. And technically, there's nothing the NFL could do about that, because that was before he was drafted. But I mean, nobody wants that on their image or anything connected to it, so they were going to release him. He might get picked up eventually, just because he really is a talented punter. But
yeah, they said he was doing pretty damn well. Adam Schefter, dude. When I was looking at my boy Adam Schefter, when I was looking at it on Twitter, I just typed in the guy's name, and Adam Schefter had just put a report out and called him the godlike punter.
He was really
looks amazing or something like that.
So it's these allegations. I don't know. I mean, if you can allow Deshaun Watson back in, and this guy, what I think is a money grab, honestly. I don't know. Like, you're young kids in college. Like, there's all kinds of shit going on. Like, I don't condone any of that kind of stuff. Like,
It's always a possibility.
I mean, it is, but we never know both sides of the side, like who's really telling the truth. So that's what we're gonna get down to.
Yeah, at least in this instance, there's at least a little bit of merit because she did file the report the next day.
So that
So
yeah,
there's
that's not
something.
it's not like a money grab because he didn't get drafted till when was the draft?
It was June.
Yeah, so I mean that was months and months later. So like,
But yeah, so that happened. He ended up getting released ultimately, which is the right decision by the Bills.
absolutely, I think so. For now, to protect their image and especially where they're going right now because they're on the up.
Yeah. So that happened. Next up, Jimmy G restructured his contract. Good deal for both sides. He was set to make $24 million, I believe. They went ahead and they chopped that down to $6.5 million guaranteed, which is good. There's up to $16 million in incentives too, based in it.
Starting bonuses, touchdown passes.
Yeah, all that crap if he does end up starting over Trey Lance. But there's also a no trade and a no tag clause in it. Looks like a good deal for both sides. Good insurance policy for Lance.
I like it because me personally, I do not like Lance. And I was talking to one of my buddies, Blake, the other day, and I told him, like, start him, ride him in the 4 fucking games he's going to play and then get hurt, and then put Trey Lance in. Like, fuck, if, like, y'all want Trey Lance to be your future, like, let him sit behind and learn as much as he can because he's not ready.
Yeah.
To me personally, he's not ready. He's not a good enough quarterback. He hasn't shown shit in the preseason. He's been god awful.
Yeah, he can't make a pass apparently.
So, like, and I mean, Jimmy G, you know where you're going to get out of him. So, like, fucking ride it till the wheels fall off.
And it's funny because that's a different situation than like the Falcons are in. Because the 49ers are still a competitive team.
Oh,
they're still right up there, and that's a tough division out there.
Absolutely.
There's very competitive, very high flying offenses and everything out there in the West. But they're there. They're very, very competitive. They've got a very good team. Meanwhile, they're starting the new kid. Meanwhile, in the newer kid, because he did play last year. But meanwhile, in Atlanta, they have no chance in hell of being a competitive football team this year. And yet they're starting Marcus Mariota, which also came out today. We'll get into, we did have cut down day. we had cut down day was today. They got down to 53, and the Falcons they had signed a handful of really like decent free agents just to cut them all today. They just cut most of the free agents that they signed. So they're going with a youth movement, and yet they're still starting Marcus Mariota.
Oh yeah, they're going to ride him for now because they don't. The reason why is because they like Ritter, but they also said they want him to sit and learn a little bit more. And they're not designed for a pocket passer. They need somebody who can move a little bit, and Mariota's proved that he can move. And that's why they got rid of Matt Ryan, got what they could for him because they know that he can't run.
I think you should just play the kid.
But I mean,
what do you have to lose?
His career.
So what? His career. So you get another first top pick next year in a quarterback heavy draft.
Maybe they're being passionate people and actually looking at him as a person instead of I don't know.
Fuck passion. It's a business.
We're
here to win.
I'm not a big
any
fan.
means necessary.
I'm not a big fan.
That means he tears his ACL.
There's not a lot of rookies that can come into that role and dominate.
Yeah, like Zach Wilson.
He's not even the best quarterback on the roster. We'll get into that in a minute, but he's not even the best quarterback on the roster. 100% not even the best. But like that's the way I've always seen it. Like the rookies, if they've got an old veteran, like, and if he gets hurt, then you can put him in. But let him learn. Like, and I know they don't want to because there's been a lot of quarterbacks go on record. Like, I'm not here to train him, but at the same time, he can learn and watch what you do. If you're a successful quarterback, it's not all about teaching him, but that quarterback needs to be observant or running back or wide receiver.
Sure.
Learn what the best guys do to be as good as the best guys.
Yeah, I get that. So that's cool. But yeah, any other trade, and then nothing really else happened today. There were some trades. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, good move for the Eagles. Got him from the Saints. Saints get a 5th and 6th round pick in return. That's good. That's going to shore up their secondary out there. His plan is for him to play safety. He's going to be alongside Bradbury and who's the other guy? I guess was it Slay? Yeah, they've got a pretty deep secondary out there in Philadelphia.
I like Slay too.
Yeah, Slay there. They're good. That's gonna be a good, especially with now Gardner Johnson. I've always been a Gardner Johnson fan. Got some on the field the behavior issues, but
I mean, fucking doesn't nowadays.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's not a Cowboy, so he ain't that bad yet.
Another move. Jags traded Laviska Shenault to the Panthers for a 7th and 6th round pick in 2023, 2024, respectively. Chenault's going to be playing alongside DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, going to add some depth to the receiver core out there in Carolina, give Baker some more options. This is somebody that didn't really catch on in Jacksonville. Granted, you got Trevor Lawrence coming in and, he's just trying to learn the fucking game as it is, but not exactly the best time to get a new receiver in there to, really learn the game himself. But he could be a decent slot guy. I like this guy. I still think, his career's on the up, especially now going to Carolina. They've got more options out there. Should be interesting to see how that works out. Good trade for both sides. Jacksonville gets some picks. Panthers get a new receiver. Okay, so anything else you want to add? Anything else happened today? Anything? I looked through the cut down day. I didn't see anything that really stuck out cut down wise. I didn't really see any big cuts that I thought weren't going to happen. There were a couple guys we talked about last week that we had some bright spots for that ended up getting cut anyway.
Yeah, there was nothing crazy. There's a couple people that moved, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll remember later on.
Yeah, and I know the Cowboys went down to one quarterback again. I'm sure they'll pick up somebody, or they're going to grab either Cooper Rush or DiNucci again later on in the season once they figure out the rest of the roster.
There's a few quarterbacks I could pick up in the free agent or something.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Cowboys, but that's it. We'll just go ahead and slide right into the AFC preview. This took a lot to compile throughout the day. This is very taxing.
I think I did it 30 minutes before a game, so.
Yeah, I did it. I've done it for about the last 7 hours.
I just sat here and write.
I can't even read that.
That's because
Can you read this?
No, I don't need you to read mine.
I'm ready to read this.
I'm not going to show you my notes. Where the magic happens.
That's where the magic happens. But we'll start off with the AFC East, our division, the best division, the most competitive division.
I don't even know if it's the most competitive, like breaking down everything.
Oh, it's definitely not the most. I was just bullshitting. It's definitely not the most competitive division. I think that West definitely takes that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, West is awesome. But I'm gonna start out. I got the Bills winning this one, hand over fist, outright. Got Bills. They were 11-6 last year. They're negative 230 favorites right now to win the division. They're plus 600 as the favorites to win the Super Bowl as well. That's a really good bet. That's an easy bet to take. I would definitely take the Bills for both the division and the Super Bowl. If you could do two different, bets, you're going to win on one of them. Like I said, they're negative 230 favorites. They're hand over fist going to be winning this division. It's pretty much not debatable. They've just gotten so far ahead talent-wise in the past few years. They built a team. They built the team before they got the quarterback. Other than that, they've improved steadily, especially on defense. They were just so good last year. Like I said, 11-6. Josh Allen had a great year last year. 36 and 15 touchdown interception ratio, 4,407 yards through the air. He had 760 on the ground for a combined total of just around 6,000 total offensive production in yards. That's why he's gone. If you look in your fantasy drafts, he's gone so quick. He's going in the first couple rounds in most drafts,
which is weird.
Yeah, which is weird for a quarterback, but they've got a lot of praise on him. I think he's going to be absolutely sick this year. Devin Singletary's coming back in. He had 870 yards on the ground last year, 7 touchdowns. He's a goal line monster for them. Run game needs to be solid. That's the big thing coming in this year. They need to stay solid. Allen's taken a lot of hits these past couple of years.
Well, I mean, but a lot of it is designed for him to run as well.
Yeah,
that's why
course.
It's always good. That's why I like him in fantasy as well, because he's always good for a rushing touchdown. By the goal line, like, fuck that running back. He's going to run an option to the outside. So.
I would like to see them utilize their running backs a little bit more. Keep him protected more.
Well, that's what I was looking at. Their running back, like their depth, they got Singletary, Cook, and then Moss. Like, Singletary's a small guy too. And who's Cook? James Cook.
Singletary was awesome on the goal line, like I said last year. He got a lot of their stuff, and he did some stuff through the air too a little bit.
That boy from Georgia. Okay.
But yeah, James Cook, you said, serviceable backup over there. Very, very, very solid right there up front. You've got also their receiving core. You got Stephon Diggs, of course, had a great year. What is there to say? I mean, top 5 receiver in the league. Gabriel Davis could be a major breakout candidate this year. I like Isaiah McKenzie. They're short up there. Of course, Dawson Knox had a career year last year as well too. I didn't see him coming at all. But Dawson Knox had a good year. They got a solid O-line.
They got Jamison Crowder too, who
Yeah.
adds a little depth. I think they kind of lack in the wide receiver department. Like
Even with Diggs and Gabriel Davis.
yeah, I see more Diggs being a threat. Davis is all right, but Diggs is a big threat. And I mean, he can beat a lot of guys, but I mean, they just don't have that third slot real good guy. Like Gabe Davis, I see potential, but to me,
I
they're
like
a run
Gabe.
game. They're a run team.
Oh yeah, man. Especially
And their defense, they've got probably the best defense in the AFC.
yeah, man. You've got, man. I'm looking at. I mean, you got Rousseau. They got Oliver, Von Miller.
White,
Yeah, man. Tremaine Edmonds.
Hyde, yeah, Edmonds.
Yep.
Very great defense. Great secondary. Like
Yep. Milano's not bad. Milano is very good too up there in the linebacker core. They're stacked on defense. They got a top 5 defense in my humble opinion.
to me, it's going to be what can the offense do this year. If the offense can show out, they're definitely going to make a deep run. But if their offense kind of stalls out, I think they can't rely on that defense, especially with an extra game this season. I don't see that defense being able to hold them up the whole season. So it's going to be interesting. It's gonna be a different year this year, though, definitely.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, as much as good as they are, the division as a whole has improved pretty tremendously.
Oh yeah,
team by team. I mean,
absolutely. A lot of these divisions in the AFC have improved.
Yeah, that's what I was looking through everything today, and I'm like, I think, like I said, Bills are gonna be favorites to win. I think they're gonna go right to the AFC title game. But I mean, looking through just the entire conference as a whole, there's just so much to talk about because so many teams have improved. So many teams look good. Even the real shit teams, even like the Houstons, like they look decent at least in preseason. I like the receiver. We'll get to Houston. We'll get to Houston. I like the kid. What's Woods?
30. I spent 30 seconds on that, man.
Yeah, there's really not much to talk about.
Long neck Mills. That's what I put down.
Next up, I got second. I think coming in second this year. I think I like the Patriots. They were 10-7 last year. They've kind of fallen off these past couple of years. They're on a downturn. They still look decent coming into this year. Mac Jones, the Alabama boy. About what you'd expect, 3,800 yards passing. He was 22-13 touchdown interception. Kind of what you'd expect from a team like the Patriots who run a lot, kill a lot of clock, the Bill Belichick strategy, playing the clock. It's just my question for you is, from what you've seen so far from your boys.
Which hasn't been much because I can't stand watching preseason.
No, I'm saying, just in the past few years, do you think Mac Jones is the right decision and the right guy to lead this team in the future here?
This is going to be his make or break season, really.
I was going to say that.
He's shown what he can do. He's shown very bright spots, but he's also shown a lot of rookie mistakes. So this is a year that he really needs to form and come together. He's got a lot of offensive weapons around him right now, especially like they're veterans too, like Nelson Aguilar. Like he's prone to drops, but they're not looking if the receiver drops the ball. They're making sure that Mac Jones is making the correct read and the throw. Mm-hmm. So like as much as you want the guy to catch the ball, it's not all about catching, which evaluates the quarterback. So I don't know. He's got great running backs behind him this year with Harris and then Stevenson, who showed out last year as well. So like he's got 2 really big running backs. His line's healthy this year. He's got David Andrews back at center. Like it's gonna be very interesting. He's got all the weapons and tools to not like they should make the playoffs. I don't see them like making the AFC, title game or anything like that, but I see them like winning probably, I don't know, 11 games, 12 games maybe, because it's a longer season. But it's going to be interesting because the defense is always going to be there. Like they're great at making adjustments. That's probably one of the best teams making second half adjustments.
Yeah. I don't have them winning anywhere near 11 games, but
well, I mean, I'm also a fan too. No, I think they'll do well. I think they'll do well.
I think they'll do decently. I do like those running backs. I like Harris. I love Harris a lot.
They both ran really well last season.
Yeah,
Stevenson's a big South runner.
Sal says the Pats have offensive weapons.
They like I said, they're compared to what he fucking has. I mean, who did they get rid of? What's his name? I fucking hate him. Oh god, I can't remember his name right now. Who was that one they kept? They spent their first round on it. They still got Jacoby Myers out there, but they got Bourne. They've got
Hunter Henry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're older, but I think that's what Mac Jones needs.
Yes, they grabbed Devontae Parker too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the other one.
That
Yeah.
was a good pickup for them.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
like
another
that
good
for them.
slot guy. Yeah, he can hit. So kind of a check down almost because they don't really have that James White. Because James White retired,
Mhm.
they don't really have that running back out of the backfield that they've always been accustomed to that can catch. Because the other two guys are bigger.
Yeah. They were great. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson showed out last year for sure. They combined, him and Harris combined for 21 touchdowns.
That's a lot.
I didn't know it was that. I didn't know that it was that much, man. There's really I think this is like really interesting that N'Keal Harry was terrible. I think he was talking about
Yeah, that's
Harry.
who. Yeah,
N'Keal Harry.
held on to him for all the time.
Yeah, Nelson Aguilar.
I mean, he drops the ball, but he's always proved he's made some big
He's
catches.
serviceable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's
Serviceable. Yeah, I like him a little bit better this year with Myers. Like Myers, it's time for Myers to see what he can really do. And then you got Devontae Parker too, Hunter Henry.
That's what I'm saying. He's got veterans and they've been in the league 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah. Going to the defense. They look decent.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
Out.
Yeah, read what that says. Read what that says. Not too much jumps off the page.
Nothing jumps
Other than
out.
I like Matt Judon at linebacker. Kyle Duggar at safety is decent. Devin McCourty kicking the tires on him still. Jalen Mills should be pretty good at corner. Other than that, really nothing else really jumps, which is very uncharacteristic of a Bill Belichick defense. I think that their next moves, should be to improve that defense big time.
Yeah, they're going to. I think they're going to. It's just they don't like to spend money, so they're trying to get somebody cheap that fits the system. It's not always they don't need the Aaron
Never
Donalds,
spent the money,
the
dude.
Von Millers. Like, look at all the people on defense. They've never went and spent money on it, but yet they made people work.
Yeah, Antonio likes Jonnu and both Jonnu and Henry. Should be Jonnu. Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for Jonnu Smith to really jump out too.
Yeah, he needs to have a good year this year. And also looking through the depth chart, Cole Strange is their only active left guard. So maybe it fucking pays off. Huh?
Cole Strange.
No, they'll probably add somebody else. But I mean, they can all rotate. Well, most of them can rotate if they're good. So
sweet heavenly Jesus. Okay, so third in the division today. Let's see. Moves have been strange. Moves have been strange. Cole Strange.
All right, let's get to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins coming in 9-8 from last year. I think I got them coming third in the division this year. Tua's coming back after a somewhat subpar second year. I threw for 2,600 yards, 16-10 touchdown interception ratio. He's going to be expected to make a big leap this year, especially with the emergence and the story, getting Tyreek Hill and the emergence of Jalen Waddle. Between Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I mean, it's time for Tua, to really start showing out, really show that, he's going to be the guy.
They've got the best quarterback room.
Yeah.
Like the best three. They got Teddy Bridgewater, who's a very serviceable backup. And then they got Skylar Thompson, who I was telling you about last week. Like he's looked good. Like he's really looked.
It's going to be Tua.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but like, he's got people behind him that are just as hungry. Like, so he's got to really come with his A game.
Yeah, they got options.
And his running back, the running back looks good too. Like they got
that's a big question for me. They brought in Chase Edmonds, which was a good,
his injuries.
Yeah, the injuries. I mean, he had 900 yards combined, air and ground last year. Again, it's going to come down to Tua. The run game, if it gets to the point where it opens up the pass game, there's no shortage of weapons with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Then they also got Gesicki. They've got the weapons. Tua's he's got everything.
He's got a decent line.
Yeah, he's got decent line. He's got everything. There's no excuses at this point for Tua, especially going out and getting Tyreek like that. I mean, yeah, they gave him the support. Now it's time for him to shine or get the fuck off the field and find somebody else. Okay. Like I said, solid O-line. Defense, they're pretty good on defense. I like Wilkins, I like Davis, Ogba on the line. Jerome Baker, solid at linebacker. Trey Flowers is there. Xavier Howard,
one of the best corners in the league.
Yeah, I like Howard a lot.
I actually met him. When the
Really?
Super Bowl was here.
Really?
Yeah, I got an autograph from him.
Oh, really? Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, he was great. This one he played. He's been with Miami. Yeah, he's cool. I was like, bro, I see you because I looked up his stats.
Yeah.
He has really good stats.
Yeah.
He's a really good
he's
coverage corner, man.
solid. Yeah, absolutely,
I
man.
told him, I was like, bro, I see you. Keep making moves.
Yeah, he gets tackles too, man.
He's good.
Yep.
One of the best corners, really.
Yeah, I like him a lot. But yeah, it just comes out a big prove it year for Tua. Teams improved big time over the last few years. I'm happy. Rivals to fuck them, but at the same time, I'm also happy to see
Competitive. Yeah,
that
so
we're
it's not
getting
like the
competitive.
Jets. Yeah.
So last, but certainly not least, my New York Jets coming in 4-13 last season. Coach Saleh and Zach Wilson are returning in their second year together. The big news, of course, was Zach injuring himself in preseason, non-contact. He got I believe it was the MCL or something like that. Should be back week 2 to 3. There were some rumblings about 1, but nobody wants to rush him back or come back 2 to 3. But this is now 2 years in a row now. This kid's gotten injured, so I'm starting to kind of worry about, is he injury prone? Is this going to be an issue?
Was that really the big news?
What with the Jets?
With Zach Wilson? That wasn't the biggest news.
Oh yeah, the fact that he likes to fuck older women. Yes, we understand that.
Get
We
your
understand that
mama.
completely. Zach Milf Hunter Milfson. We love that about Zach. I think he's perfect for New York in that respect. He's the next Joe Namath. Dog, bro. Sick. But yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I mean, the Jets are another way producers over here just losing his shit. Another team that's perfect. This is another team that's improved pretty drastically, at least on paper, or at least over the past couple of years. I like Breece Hall from Iowa State. I think he's going to be solid. They're still rolling. It looks like with Michael Carter as the number 1 in the backfield. That was at least the situation in preseason so far. That's been the word.
Starter.
Yeah, they've got him listed as starter, but the word is it might be Carter. Maybe they'll do a 2-headed monster kind of ordeal. Who knows?
Like that. I see that.
Yeah. They got a pretty stacked receiver core. That's their thing. They've got potentially a top 5, top 10 receiving core with Elijah Moore. They got Corey Davis. They got the first rounder Garrett Wilson, who was insane in college, and Braxton Berrios is coming back. He's been very, very good. He's been kind of that kind of gimmicky kind of guy too. He can return punts. He can come out of the wild. He can do a lot of things.
Little white boy.
Of course. Yeah, you gotta have one. But yeah, I love their receiving core. They also grabbed Conklin and Usama at tight end. Those could be very good for them. The O-line is one thing that looks vastly improved. They grabbed Dwayne Brown when Mekhi Becton went down again. I don't think Becton's going to play another game in the NFL. I just think this is 2 years now. He's too big. He's too athletic. He moves too fast. His body cannot sustain his size for
6'7", 360.
Yeah, that's just his body's not gonna even if he comes back healthy again, he's gonna go down again. I don't like him longevity. So we went out and signed Pro Bowl Dwayne Brown for left tackle.
That's just a kneecap.
Yeah.
No bitch came out.
Yeah, I think motherfucker blasted.
He's only
out.
23 and that's his second injury. Holy shit! On the same knee.
Yeah, I believe it was the same knee. If you're still watching, I believe it is. They also grabbed Laken Tomlinson, who is also Pro Bowl caliber. They got Vera Tucker coming back, our first round pick from from a couple years back. Yeah, their O-line looks very, very good. This is another team just like Tua that Zach needs to go out and improve himself this year. You don't have any excuses anymore. They've got you an O-line. Same knee. They've got you an O-line. They've given you receivers. You got tight ends. Looks like you might have a running game now. This is a time for Zach to go out there and prove it. And I'm nervous about this season. I would hate for them to go out and have to grab another quarterback again if Zach Wilson doesn't show out. I think Zach's definitely the most athletic quarterback we've ever had. He's got so much potential. There's so much. His ceiling is so high, but his floor is also so low. So there's a wide gap there where you can go either way.
He's not even the best quarterback. I think Mike White is a better quarterback. He's been showing out this preseason though. I think he's a better quarterback than him.
Why?
I think Matt.
Why?
Because he can move, he throws better. I just think he's better. He's been on the field. I mean,
okay, yeah. So he had the game last year where it ended up his jersey's now in the Hall of Fame for it. I guess it's the most. It is in the Hall of Fame. They had the most passing yards ever, I believe, for a rookie
I
quarterback in
think
his first game.
to me he looks like a Kirk Cousins. Like, he's
Yeah.
just a fucking slinger. And
yeah,
I think
but
he's gonna get better.
the other games he started in, he was fucking ass. He was terrible. He
Beginner's luck
choked
then?
completely. He's
Okay.
not going to be. I mean, I like the fact that we're keeping him on the roster. I like the fact that he's still there.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I
Well,
like
I
that.
mean, you got that old Joe Flacco. They probably like give him a smooth million, tell him to shut the fuck up to these guys. Like,
That works, man. Some guys
Hold his
really
punch.
thrive in that role, man. Look at guys like Touchdown McCown, guys, or Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know,
It's
guys thrive in
magic.
that back role. But other than that, our defense looks very, very good.
Yeah, let's talk about this fucking sauce.
Yeah, I'm happy we can finally get to see this defensive line healthy. You know, they're bringing in Carl Lawson. We haven't seen a lot from him. That we're bringing in Quinnen Williams, Sheldon Rankins, Jonathan Franklin Myers, C.J. Mosley, and Quincy Williams at linebacker. You know, they added Quan Alexander at linebacker too. Secondary, they got, of course, the first rounder Sauce Gardner, Bryce Hall still there, Jordan Whitehead, LaMarcus Joyner. I mean, this defense, in all seriousness and in unbiased fashion, I can say this because I have talked some shit on them. They've got top 10 potential. If they can all stay healthy, this defense can be absolutely outstanding.
But top 10 of the AFC?
Top 10 in the league, bro.
Absolutely.
In the league, they've got a lot of potential. Like I said, it all comes down if they can stay healthy. They end up losing Mosley again. They end up losing Carl Lawson again. Now we're talking, we might be in trouble. But preseason showed they have a lot of depth too.
Let's back this up though, because we had this argument the other night about this kid Sauce.
What about it?
You're talking about, what was it?
So I don't know. So can somebody give me the stat? Because they started the
19?
starters the last game. I didn't watch the last preseason game. How many times did they target him the last preseason game?
I'm just saying, bro. Like, that's
No,
cool
how many
how-
times did they? Because he was 0 for 18 on his plays when he was on the field. What was it like last game?
Wait, let's get a sample. Like, I like the kid, don't get me wrong, but don't hype the kid up, man. Because when you go straight trash, you just ruin that. Everyone just ruined that man career trying to hype him up. Like,
What's the reason? Okay, what's the zero?
Zero.
He was targeted. He was again not targeted.
No, yeah, on the how many
There's
plays?
3 preseason games
how many-
now we're in.
How many plays was he on the field for?
A lot of them.
He was only in 19 out of fucking what?
Out of the first 2 because they were giving the kid and they started all the starters
That's
the
what I'm
third
saying.
one.
Don't hype that kid up yet.
All
Man.
right.
Let him play a few games. And
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
Let him get his name.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
I think he's
I'm
gonna be
excited.
I think he's gonna be a star, but
Yeah,
like,
I'm excited.
I don't
I'm
like
excited.
the
I don't think he's gonna be
overhype.
the dude. I don't think his kid's gonna be the greatest cornerback since fucking Darrell Revis. But I mean, he's got a lot of good potential. I'm
because a
happy
lot
where
of
he's
people
at.
hyped up fucking Eli Apple, and he's trash.
Yeah. So the key is coaching improvements with this team. This is 2 years in a row now I've seen from this rookie coaching staff that you're constantly seeing them come from behind and having to play from behind when the second half comes around. So when you see a team a lot of the times thriving on second half adjustments, it shows that the coaches are not properly preparing the team before the game. They're not preparing well enough to where they're having to rely on these second half adjustments to come back. Play one series. But yeah, I want to see better coaching from this team this year. I want to see them coming out of the gate firing. I don't want to see them having to rely on second half adjustments anymore. That's going to be key. And Zach Wilson needs to prove it, just like Tua. He's got the weapons.
So where we got him at this season?
Well, the Jets, I mean, healthy. I think 8 wins isn't out of the question. 9 wins. I mean, which is great.
So,
Anything more than 4 is an improvement.
so hovering around 500 then.
Yeah, that's realistic. They've got potential. They can win 9. We'll see. Their schedule is just so fucking tough coming out of the gate. I mean, they've got Ravens week 1. They've got I think they got somebody big too week 2. They have a tough first 4 games. It's gonna be slow going there, but we'll see. I would love for them to come out swinging, but I mean, you'll see South says 11-6. I mean, listen, they've got potential, buddy. You know me. You know I'm always hype. I'm always optimistic about my
Posted that
Jets.
crack pipe 11-6.
but yeah, they've got potential. I like my Jets.
Burning the shit out of that ball. God damn, put it down. Put it down. No, not 11-6. I see them around 500, which would be a good improvement for them.
Yeah,
They
it'd be
need.
great.
They're not. I mean, let's just be honest. They're not a playoff.
No, we're
contending
still
team
another
right
year at least away.
There's
from
too
being
many other
competitive.
good teams in the AFC, which
Yeah.
they can rebuild a little bit if there's young defense kind of works together, stays healthy.
Mhm.
You can see a lot better.
Yep. So yeah, that's how we got. So
It's not
recap.
about winning all the games, but as long as they're playing close, it's better.
It's not about winning or losing. It's about if you can win or lose like a man. Bills winning this division, hand over
Is
fist.
it backwards?
No, we're good. We're good today. So next up, we got the AFC West. Going to be a fun. Both divisions, both West Coast divisions in the NFC and the AFC are stacked, bro.
This is arguably probably the best division
Yeah.
in the AFC this year.
I'm going to start out. Who do you got winning this division, my man?
Look,
Before I write it down.
I like the Chargers, really. I think it's gonna be between the Chargers and Chiefs, obviously. I mean, everyone's made upgrades in this division, like everyone. So like it's hard to pick, but
I need a new marker.
I like the Chargers. There's two of them over there. Oh,
Thanks.
never mind. He's got a bit. But the Chargers look really good last season. This is gonna be, Justin's. He had a really good year last year. Touchdowns. He throws the ball very well. The run game, his wide receivers, that defense, Bosa's back. Like,
Yeah, I've got that. I'm gonna hit them directly next.
it's gonna be a good dogfight. All of these division games are all gonna.
From last year, Marcus.
Yeah, pulling out a fucking Christmas bin over there or some shit.
Yeah, so you got Chargers. I got Chiefs right here. I like them big time. They're 12-5 last year, plus 155 right now to win the division. You got Andy Reid and his boy, Patty Mahomes coming back. Patty. Man, put the ball last man, you dumb man. But yeah, they got this exciting offense. They're coming back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire returning. He got hurt last year, kind of put a damper in the game. Jerick McKinnon came in and was very, very serviceable. They lost Tyreek Hill, but they ended up grabbing Juju Smith-Schuster. I think he's gonna thrive in an offense that actually throws the fucking ball for once. That's gonna be very, very entertaining and exciting to see what Juju can do with Patrick Mahomes and that high-powered Chiefs offense.
How long until he does a TikTok with Jackson Mahomes?
Jackson Mahomes, goddamn, I can't stand Jackson Mahomes. Jackson Mahomes looks like, they had a kid in Patrick and they tried to create another one, and it just turned out like the putty just didn't mold well enough in the womb.
Like,
And yeah, I'm like, it's like a really shitty Walmart methed out Patrick Mahomes. That's what Jackson reminds me of.
great value.
Great value. But yeah, they got MVS from Green Bay.
Good addition.
Good addition. Of course, we got Mecole Hardman. He's rounding out a very solid receiving core.
Which I don't see that Tyreek Hill like a huge loss to him.
Yeah, well, the big thing I think is going to affect is going to be Sky Moore. See what Sky Moore can do. I think they're going to end up utilizing him kind of like in that same kind of role like Tyreek was in.
I mean,
Kinda
Harden can do that
dump
too.
passes.
Harden
can do that. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see which one it'll be. I like either one of them. Of course, you got Travis Kelce, perennial top 3 in the league. The aerial attack should be great once again. O-line should be top 10s again easily. They did some improvement on the O-line. The big question with this team, and if it comes down to Chargers and Chiefs, I'm worried about the defense, man. Last year, they were not good.
Yeah.
Which is a big change over the past 5 to 6 years coming in, because before their defense was a big bright spot, but I mean the defense, they look good so far in preseason. You got newcomer George Karlaftis. Yeah, on the line. He's got upside. He's coming from Purdue, that one. I got Frank Clark, and you got Chris Jones are there on the line as well. They combined for about 15 sacks last year. There's questions at linebacker. Nothing really jumps off the page here. Secondary is very young. They got one of those youngest secondaries. They're all averaging around 21 to 25 years old. It's a lot of rookies. They got, Deion Bush back there. I'm not so sure about that secondary. Linebacker and secondary, a lot of questions there. But overall, I can see another 10, 11, 12 win year. The offense is just so good on the team.
Better chairs. The chairs are terrible.
What's wrong with your back? What, your back?
Oh, my ass hurts in this fucking chair.
Sure, it's from the chair.
Side note, anyway.
Sure, it's from the
Yeah,
chair.
I think they're going to be just as good as they were last year. It's just going to depend on what their defense can carry them, because we know Patrick Mahomes and that offense is going to put up points.
Yeah, I'm worried
mean,
about that defense though.
I
man.
feel like to beat them, you got to put up, 30, 35 points a game.
Yeah. So you got Chargers.
I do. I like
Yeah,
them.
9-8 last year. Justin Herbert's coming off an absolutely massive massive second year. 5,000 passing yards. He was 38-15 touchdown interception ratio. I mean, he was great. Eckler was always solid coming off. He had 1,000 combined yards last year, 20 combined touchdowns. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams showed out. They both had big years. I was happy to see Mike Williams have a big year again.
Yeah.
He was, I've always been a fan of his, man. He had some injury issues early on, but it's good to see him healthy. I'm excited to see more from Josh Palmer too at receiver. My main concern for this team is tight end.
Yeah, there ain't nothing there.
Yeah, Gerald Everett. You'd expect more than 4 touchdowns from a team that throws as much as they do. But I mean, maybe he's blocking a lot. They're not really scheming him. Maybe it just works out that way. But I mean, their tight end core fucking blows. Their defense is very good looking.
They got Everett from
Seattle,
the
Rams, Seattle. Yeah, some shit like that.
Like 4 Everett.
We had 4 fucking touchdowns. So he's a complete non-factor. They got a very good looking defense. They had 11 combined sacks on that line. And, they got the 10.5 from Joey Bosa at linebacker. That's 10.5 for him. They brought in Khalil Mack. I'm excited to see how that goes.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, the secondary looks very good too. Derwin James. They've got Adderley. J.C. Jackson. Michael Davis. J.C. Jackson, second in picks last year with 8. He's phenomenal.
He went and got his money though. I feel him.
Yeah, good for him, man. I wish the Patriots just dole out the fucking money.
They got Asante Samuel Jr. too.
Do they really? Yeah. God, I wish the Patriots just dole out the money.
Well, see, here's the thing though. You see a lot of those secondary guys go get paid and suck on the other teams.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be interesting to see because he is out for the first 2 to 4 weeks. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how they handle it. See how they can shore that up. But I mean, this team is set to give KC a run for its money for sure. It's going to be a very tight division, challenging for the division title. If there is a turning point in this, it's going to be that defense is going to be, because you got KC offense here. I think Chargers are right under them. But then you got the Chargers defense and you got the KC defense. It's just, there's a big disparity there. Hopefully, I love my Chiefs. So let's see if the Chiefs offense can,
Yeah, they got a lot of games like beginning of their schedule and then near the end of the schedule, they really don't have any meaningful games.
No, they don't. But
Miami, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Rams, and then Denver's the only one that really matters.
Yeah, and then coming in a third, I got the Raiders.
Actually, probably for the Broncos ahead of them.
Yeah, so I got the Raiders coming in third, 10-7 last year. Derek Carr takes his place as a signal caller once again. For Vegas. I love their new stadium. It looks so cool. He was very solid last year. He blew his career numbers away. 4,800 yards through the air, 23-14 touchdown interception. Josh Jacobs is coming back. He kind of had a vice versa year with a career low in yards, but had a career high in yards to the air. So I don't know if they're just converting him to more of a receiving back now. He's always solid, but he just wasn't really there for me last year. Team looks to be chucking the ball a lot more under Josh McDaniels, which makes the move for Devontae Adams very perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Adams alongside Renfro. I like that combo. Yeah, still got Darren Waller there. He's a top 5 tight end guy. I mean, Carr should definitely be able to hit those numbers again, maybe 5,000 plus if they can all stay healthy. If Waller can stay healthy, 5,000 plus is not out of the question.
Their running back room is big.
Yeah, they got a big running back room.
Jacobs, White, Abdullah, who's been with.
I liked Abdullah in the preseason, man.
And
Abdullah
they had
showed
Brandon
up.
Bolden.
Yeah, really.
Let him go. They
Yeah.
had Bolden and Stidham on their roster.
Yeah, they got a solid team, man. Their defense looks solid too. You got Max Crosby coming in with 8 sacks. They brought in Chandler Jones, who had 10.5 sacks in Arizona last year. They fill out that D front. Denzel Perryman flourished in this defense with 102 tackles last year. Yeah, 102. Secondary is a bit of a question. I like, Joyon Brown and Rock Ya-Sin. Questions there. But they also have Jonathan Abram. He's coming in. He had 116 tackles last year for a career high. This team has big time potential to really make a run if the pass rush stays consistent And the additions of Adams and Chandler Jones proved to be, very good. I think they can make a little bit of a run there.
Yeah, like we said, with Carr and Adams back in college, it's gonna be a good little thing. I mean, he's gonna see a lot of double coverage, which will free up Renfro a lot.
Yeah, you got
Or
Renfro,
even-
Waller,
or even the running back.
Yeah.
Back, so
Jacobs. Heck yeah. I mean,
it's
they
gonna be
got
an interesting
potential.
year. Yeah, actually, definitely a playoff contender. I think they might be able to snag a wild card.
Yeah, it's possibilities for sure. That move to Vegas was great for them.
Absolutely, yeah. They're kind of dying out in Oakland.
Oh yeah, that fucking total fucking stadium they're playing in. Broncos coming in last for me, 7-10 last year. In a division this deep and loaded with the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Chargers, I got nothing but questions about this team. You're bringing in Russell Wilson.
I like their week 1 matchup though. They're playing Seattle.
Perfect. Oh, that's gonna be entertaining. Yeah. Well, yeah, you got Russell Wilson. He's been on a bit of a decline. He's coming from a team, with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Now you're going to Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. It's been 2 years since Sutton hit 1,000. Jeudy hasn't hit 1,000 in his career yet. This team does a lot of work on the ground, so it's understandable. There's kind of some room to be had there.
Yeah.
But I want to see at least one guy on the outside get a K. At least. Come on, man. And then maybe with Russell they can. It remains to be seen. On the ground, though, they're awesome on the ground. Javonte Williams proved to be a hell of a dual threat running back. He had 900 yards rushing, 316 in the air. Gordon hit 1,200 combined as well. They've got a true two-headed monster. They might have one of the only, for sure, bona fide two-headed monsters in the entire league.
Yeah.
Very good. Combined, so many touchdowns. I think this is the year, we talked about it happening last year. Melvin Gordon still kind of stepped in. I think this is the year Javonte Adams really takes on the bigger role. You got Gordon coming in at 30. Javonte Adams, 22. I mean, the run game is great. I see Javonte taking a big role this year.
They're gonna have to rely heavily on the run game because there's really nobody else in that wide receiver or even tight end.
So the tight end core,
Albert Okawabona and Greg Dillett. Man, I never heard.
the tight end core.
Never heard of any of them. Well, they let Noah Fant go.
Hey, can somebody tell me about the tight end core in Denver? No? Okay, yeah, neither can we. Next, we got
Like, dude, maybe they're good blockers. I don't know.
the O-line looks solid, but, they got to be good if they want to continue to run like they are. Defense, he can be very solid as long as Bradley Chubb and the import from Dallas. They got, what's his name? Gregory from Dallas. Both have health issues. But if they can stay healthy, they could be very, very, very solid for them. Pat Surtain at corners, awesome, as well as Justin Simmons. On the back end, that linebacker core just needs to stay healthy for them to have a chance here, for them to even come close. If they can stay healthy, they can have a potential top 10 unit in the conference there. I just don't think that Denver, even with Russell Wilson,
He doesn't give you what you need.
no, they don't have the firepower to keep up with the other 3 teams in the division, either on offense or defense.
It's a 500 year for them. If they get 500, that's good for them.
Yeah. I still want to see Javonte take
Nobody will
over.
finish 500. Well, I guess
Someone's gonna have someone. I mean,
I can't finish 500.
no, they were 7-10 last year. I don't see it being better than that. But yeah, now we move over. So yeah, recap: Chiefs taking the division. I think this year it's gonna be very tight. You got the Chargers. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close match.
It's gonna be very fun to watch.
I feel like it's a toss up between those 2 teams, definitely.
Yeah. So
Raiders gonna make a run, but
yeah, we'll see. Exciting. So we got the AFC North here.
North.
Who do you got in the North, bud?
Oh, definitely the Bengals.
Yeah, that's what I'm writing down right now.
I like this division though, but the Bengals are definitely, if they stay healthy like they did last year, they're almost unstoppable. The way that Joe Mixon ran the football for them, Jamar Chase having a breakout year, Joe Burrow just doing what Joe Burrow does, like.
We agree on that. Bengals, 10-7 last year, plus 170 to win the division. That's a good bet. Take that bet.
Definitely.
Yeah, you said Joe Burrow. He had a huge year, 4,600 passing yards, 34-14 touchdown interception ratio. Also 118 on the ground, got a little bit of mobility in him. Run game looks good. My knee. Joe Mixon had a career year, 1,200 yards.
How many touchdowns?
16 for Joe Mixon, 300 through the air as well. 16 TDs. Jamar Chase had a massive breakout year, rookie season, breakout year, same fucking thing. Coming out of LSU, had 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns. Looks set for another big year.
This is where you need like the rockets, like
alongside T. Higgins, who also had 1,000 yards with 6 tutties,
and Tyler Boyd,
and flanked by Tyler Boyd, who had a good year as well.
Youngest receiving core, like it's gonna be scary.
Yeah,
If they can keep them together.
Longevity
with Joe Burrow, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
but they're all gonna want to get paid. And you can't pay 3 people.
Yeah, and I'll be excited to see how Hayden Hurst fits into it this year.
Yeah, good tight end.
Yeah. Let's see if they mix him in a little bit. They did
good blocking too. He's a good blocking tight end, so that'd be good for the run game as well. So
yeah, they needed something to replace Uzama. It was pretty solid for them too, I thought last year.
Yeah, he's always been a serviceable guy.
Yeah,
we'll see what he does up in New York this year.
Yeah, God, hopefully something. For the love of God, fuck, I hope something. Defense, they got a solid defense once again with Sam Hubbard, Reeder, and Hendrickson on the line. Logan Wilson at linebacker. He had 100 tackles last year. Had successful labrum surgery and should be ready for week 1 is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's what I was reading about earlier.
Yep, Chidobe Awuzie and Von Bell alongside Jesse Bates fill out a solid secondary. Defense looks solid. We know how the offense is. Bengals to the moon. Place your bets.
Yeah, pretty simple there.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy division for the Bengals to win. The only competition big time I really see coming in is going to be the Ravens. Yeah.
With 23 straight preseason games.
Oh, they won all of them now. Unbelievable. If only that can translate into the season and not result in another 8-9 year like I had last year. They're actually plus 145 favorites to win the division over the Bengals. I saw latest on FanDuel. They're favored to win the division this year. I don't know why. They've got a lot of talent here. I think it's going to come down to the defense, but we'll start off with the offense. You got Lamar Jackson coming after a somewhat decent year, considering he did miss 5 games. He had an ankle.
In his contract year now. This is
contract year too.
It's a big year for him.
Yeah,
because he said if they don't finish, like we ain't gonna talk about it during the regular season. Like you talk about it before, and once it starts, that's it.
I like that attitude. Man. And we know what he can do what he can do on the ground. Know what he can do in the air. See if he can just stay healthy. J.K. Dobbins is an optimistic question for me this year. He's going to be taking over the lead back position. He looks ready to take the reins back in this extremely run-heavy offense.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't feel like they have the running backs like they used to anymore.
Yeah. He had 900 his rookie season, and then, of course, he had the ACL last year, so we didn't see anything of him last year.
Ohio State, yeah.
It's unknown if we'll be ready for week 1. We're still kind of looking at it, but
as they say.
Yeah, if he could be healthy, he could probably crack 1,000 this year. Definitely in this offense. Rashad Bateman's the new number 1 after Hollywood Brown ended up in Arizona.
Yeah, I think their receiving core is going to be the big question.
Yeah, he's got 1,000-yard potential easily. I like Rashad Bateman. I like his size. He's 6'1". I think he's 198. The other receivers suck ass. So there's that. Mark Andrews had a career year last year. 1,300 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns for him.
9 tutties.
9 tutties, no questions here. Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman are the guys. Everybody else sucks dick.
Yeah, he was one of probably the most consistent tight ends last year.
Yeah. He's part of the big 3, the big 5 there. Waller with Kelsey.
He's
with
only
Kittle.
26 years old.
Yeah, man. And he's so. The thing about Mark Andrews that I circle in, man. I mean, I think he played like 17 games last year. He's durable.
Yeah, he played every game.
Yeah, he's solid as fuck. I love Mark Andrews. The O-line, if Stanley can come back and stay healthy, the O-line looks very good. I like Linderbaum. Morgan Moses is always a perennial stalwart over there, but they had a decent O-line. But Terry Wells. They signed Kenyon Drake. So yeah, thanks for breaking that in. They signed Kenyon Drake over there.
Who?
Baltimore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
'cause
I
Dobbins
heard
ain't gonna
about
be
that
ready.
earlier. Yeah,
And
that's who I was trying to remember. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of 12 personnel. Absolutely. Yeah, offensive line looks good. The defense, the secondary is so fucking good in Baltimore.
Marlon Humphrey.
God, they're so fucking good. Marcus Peters, like you said, Humphrey, Kyle Fuller on the corners. They got Chuck Clark at safety. They're a shutdown unit in that defensive backfield. I mean, they're a shutdown unit. You know, shut it down. You want to pass against the Ravens? Shut it down.
Harvard's always been really good about that.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Yeah. If Calais Campbell can, hit the fountain of youth somehow, and Patrick Queen remains solid, they've got a top 5 defense, League One. There's just too many questions about Lamar. Besides Lamar and Andrews, on offense. I mean, too many offensive questions for me right now. Even with the defense, I can't put them over Cincinnati. There's just, like I said, too many questions on offense. Lamar and Andrews are going to be great. We don't really know what Bateman's going to do, and the rest of the receiving core fucking sucks. So it's going to come down again another season between Lamar and Andrews. Hopefully Bateman comes out because I picked him in 2 of my fantasy leagues already. I love my Baltimore receiver, man. It was always receiver because it was Marquise Brown, Hollywood, and now it's Bateman for me. Last but not least, I got not last but not least. We were on 3. Yeah, so I got the Browns coming in 3rd. 8-9 last year. With Deshaun playing, this is so much easier to do. But we got Jacoby Brissett.
Joshua Dobbs.
Most of the season. His last 15-game season, he threw for 2,900 yards and rushed for 228. Not the best for Jacoby. Where this team is good though, the ground. I like Nick Chubb. He's got, he's been proven to be adequately durable, rushing for 1,200 yards. Kareem, kick you in the mouth, Hunt. Kick your bitch in the mouth, Hunt.
Tell me about it.
Is behind him and very serviceable if Chubb goes down. And if they want to maybe give him some rest, I like Kareem Hunt too back there. Amari Cooper comes in from Dallas. He was really excited to be playing with Deshaun Watson. He's leaving the Cowboys. Look what you did, you fucking idiot. Now you got Jacoby Brissett. He's racked up a few 1,000-yard years in Dallas, but it remains to be seen if Jacoby can consistently get him the ball.
Absolutely.
We're still waiting on Njoku to have that big year. We've been talking about Njoku year after year now, and it just hasn't come. All in all, I do not like this offense without Deshaun. I just think this offense doesn't work without Deshaun.
No, yeah.
I think they're going to be struggling to stay around 500 until he comes back. Maybe if the rest of the division gets some injuries or something and they can stay within it. But, their defense, Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney combined for 25-plus sacks. That was good. Very good there. Secondary isn't that bad either. They got
defense, though. I like the defense.
Grant Delpit. I like him. Greedy Williams. I like him. Denzel Ward at the corners. The defense is pretty decent. I like you. I'm with you on that. But the offense behind Jacoby Brissett, they're not fucking sniffing Baltimore's nutsack this year. They're going to be sitting there struggling at third.
Deshaun, I think they might have had a chance.
Oh, yeah. With Deshaun, that completely opens up the offense in so many fucking ways. But, yeah, they're going to be sniffing Baltimore nutsack all year. The Steelers coming in for me, and they come in at 4th for me. 9-7 last year. Big news, Big Ben's gone. Sorry, Mescal, you're not going to like me. But, yeah, I don't like Steelers this year at all. We still don't know who's throwing the ball in Pittsburgh.
I got Trubisky, but
yeah, he's listed as first on the depth chart. I've heard Kenny Pickett. I like Kenny Pickett in a year where they aren't really going to be expected to go very far, similar to the Falcons situation. It could be Mitch. Who knows? It won't be Rudolph, though. I think we can all agree on that. It's not going to be fucking Mason. Kick you in the balls, get hit in the head by a helmet. Rudolph.
I think Pickett's really the best quarterback they have in terms of skills.
Yep.
Maybe not NFL knowledge.
Yeah, I agree with you on that 100%. Najee Harris is solid. I like him. 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. His rookie year, played all 17 games as well for him. Very durable behind there. You know, it's been an issue over the past, you know, since fucking even Jerome Bettis for the Steelers to find a durable running back of that same caliber.
Yeah, absolutely.
And looks like they might have found one in Najee. I hope him continued success. I like to see the Steelers playing their game, running the ball a lot. Deontay Johnson's coming in, ready to take on the role, true number one receiver position. After he got 1,100 yards in the air, 8 touchdowns last season. I like Claypool as well.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm hearing so many great things about George Pickens coming. You know, my Georgia boy. I'm hearing great things about him. People, even to the point where they're saying he might end up challenging Deontay Johnson for the starting receiving job.
Oh, that one. Hot take.
Hot take. Too hot for me to touch. Too hot for my bones.
Too hot.
But yeah, defense. I like the linebackers.
Oh,
Wow.
We gotta go to the tight end though.
Oh fuck yeah! I totally forgot Fryermuth.
Yeah. Boy.
Yeah, fuck.
the
You gotta
best
keep me on
player.
track, bro. Why
Can't
don't
pick
I
the
have
best player.
Fryermuth written down here? I swear I talked about Fryermuth somewhere.
We talked about him like last week, but
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, it looks like I didn't underline it because I'm an idiot. Yeah, Fryermuth. Yeah, it looked like a legit red zone threat last year.
7 touchdowns
7.
last year. Yeah.
7.
497 yards, so not much, but I mean, off of 60 receptions, that's pretty good.
Baby Gronk from Ant.
Yeah, so
I like him.
I like him in the red zone. He's been there, how many years? He's been there a couple years. No, this is, second year? Yeah.
Maybe still no.
I like him, though.
Yeah, but going from that, these fucking linebackers. These linebackers on this Steelers team make me happy in pants. TJ Watt, defensive player of the year, 22.5 sacks, and was a fucking animal out there. Devin Bush, they got Miles Jack from Jacksonville. They're all solid as hell. There's some questions at corner, though. They got Sutton, they got Wallace, Witherspoon.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, but, you know, like I said, we have questions, but we answer those questions with Edmonds and Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Edmonds, yeah. I like
Yeah.
Edmonds. I like any Edmonds. Anybody named Edmonds?
They're
good.
solid. Yeah, they're very solid on the back end. The corners are the question marks, though.
Yeah, definitely.
But you have a good enough safety. Yeah. Look at Jamal Adams, man. I like the defense. I like Najee. I like Deontay on the other side of the ball, but the uncertainty under center,
It's definitely a question,
yeah, worries me. This still will be a competitive enough division, but it's the Steelers and the Browns at the bottom of the pack for me.
It's like, how many times are you going to turn over the ball until you just like run the ball into the ground?
Yeah, they weren't a very good offense even with Big Ben. You know, granted, yeah, he was in his last year. He gained fucking 900 pounds.
Jesus Christ, look like a refrigerator trying to move through the
fat fuck rapeless burger. But
can't rape nobody now, bitch.
yeah, motherfucker. But yeah, there's just a lot of questions under center. Let's see what they can do about their quarterback situation before I really can have any faith in this team. Like I said, their defense is solid. I'm happy to see them having a good defense again, but that's it. So with that being said, finally rounding it out to the AFC South. So I'm relying on you for a good bit of this too, man, because I was only able to really research and get through a couple teams. I've got for sure, and I'm sure we are in 100% agreement on this one. I got the Colts.
Yeah, Colts.
Big time. This is a no-brainer. Right now, Colts win this division outright for sure. They're 9-8 last season. They're negative 125 to win the division this year. The favorites coming out. I think the Colts and Titans slug this one out throughout the entire season. Mainly with the Colts, I think both teams are going to leave Jacksonville and Houston in the fucking dust.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's not
both
even gonna be
teams.
close.
Yeah, no,
it's gonna be between them two, and I really feel like Indy's just gonna dominate.
This has a very similar feel to the NFC East, where the talent gap between the top two and the bottom two teams is just so fucking so wide. the addition of Matt Ryan, I think, is going to be huge for them. It was so needed to get somebody who has a great arm like that.
The best,
Yeah.
the smartest
Smartest move ever, man. And, you know, you bring in an established vet who could still get it done and is looking for a major resurgence. He looks like he's fired up in the preseason.
Because he finally has an offensive line.
Yeah, no
guard
shit.
him.
No shit. And a run game, bro. Of course, we're going to talk about JT, Jonathan Taylor. Came in, started all 17 games. This kid's durable. 1,800 rushing yards, 360 in the air, 20 touchdowns. I think. Oh, why? Okay. I think he. Is this gonna fuck? I don't know what you're doing. Why? We're in the middle of this. Okay. I allow. I just lost. I lost things. I lost things.
There.
We're still here. Okay, so God damn, bro. So 1,800 yards rushing, 360 in the air, 20 touchdowns. I think he becomes more of a receiving back with Matt Ryan throwing the ball. That's why I had him under 1,450 rushing this season. I think he's going to be catching the ball a lot more with Matt Ryan throwing it. It's better for his longevity, and it's harder to defend. He's also a great kid, man. I absolutely love Jonathan Taylor's attitude. He's a humble kid. He's got stupid ability. You know, this kid should be out, you know, fucking just storming through vagina all night. But
yeah, he's great. I mean, he puts in the work. Everybody, all his teammates love him and respect him. And
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a great year. I don't think he's gonna have the same year because now he's actually got a true quarterback behind center that can throw the ball. So I think his rushing numbers are going to go down. His passing numbers, like you said, are going to go way up. I think he's going to have more receiving touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he's going to have another great year regardless.
Yeah.
As long as he stays healthy. I mean, I think that's the key for 90% of these players. As long as they stay healthy, like.
Yeah. And for your fantasy people, all you fantasy people out there, if you're in a PPR league, he's a must.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pittman could have a big year at receiver. I think I got him as a big bright spot. Paris Campbell needs to kind of carve out a bigger role there too. You just can't be just running it with JT and Pittman. You got to give him some help, whether it be Paris Campbell or Mo Alley Cox at tight end.
Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah. All these things are all possible under Matt Ryan. You know, it's all going to come down to him and how they end up throwing the ball, how they end up, you know, cutting the mustard on offense. But I think Matt Ryan instantly, once he was named and was put on this roster, propelled this team to immediate glory in the AFC South.
Absolutely. And I hate the Colts, but like, good for them.
The big thing that really sets them apart from a lot of these other teams is the fucking defense.
That defense.
Yeah, they got a great combo. You got DeForest Buckner, you got Kwity Paye, you got Raiders veteran Yannick Ngakoue coming in. They look like a very solid defensive front. Of course, we got Darius now, Shaquille Leonard, he wants himself called. Yeah, he's been insane in the past. Obviously, injuries have been an issue. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. He was actually activated today off the PUP list. They're looking at him possibly week 1. There's no rush. Yeah, there's no rush for him at all. You know, if he ends up sitting a week, whatever, they can get through it. Okereke looked amazing last year. Linebacker, 132 tackles. I like Kenny Moore. I like Faison on the corners. I also like Stephon Gilmore, your boy. You know,
not really. Fuck that.
I like them big time. Trying to see what else I have on the Colts. Yeah, I think the Colts are.
Huh? The kicker with the glasses.
Oh, Rodrigo. Yeah, Rodrigo.
Definitely gonna be a solid team. That defense definitely held them up a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
Kept them in a lot more games than they really should have been, but I definitely believe them to be one of the powerhouses coming out of the AFC this season.
Yeah, between JT, Matt Ryan, Pittman, and this ridiculous defensive potential, I think they're locked in to just take the division hand over fist. Next up in the division move, because I actually ended up working off the phone a little bit.
We're doing Tennessee.
Yeah, I definitely got Tennessee coming in. Tennessee's coming in 12-5 last year, had a big year. Vrabel's fabled Titans return to battle the Colts for this division. It's gonna be them too, like I said earlier on in the show. We got Ryan Tannehill coming back, head manning this team. Decent year last year, 3,700 yards. Very run heavy offense. You won't expect very much. Similar kind of the situation Mac is in with the Patriots. You just, if you're running the ball so much, you're just not going to be throwing it that much.
When you got one of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah. If he stays consistent and limits the turnovers, they've got a good path to the wild card at least, barring a complete Indianapolis collapse. Derrick Henry comes back off the foot. He had a foot last year. He actually broke the same bone in his foot that I broke. Same fifth metatarsal. It sucked. And he was out for 6 weeks. I don't think they did surgery on it. I think they just let it heal, which the surgery has a lot of complications with it. So I'm happy if that's the case. 2,000 yards rushing still before he went down. He stays healthy. Doug Peter. We're gonna get to the Jags here shortly. I like that though. We're gonna use all of that. I tried to see if we can get him on the Zoom call to get a second person. Will it record too if he's on the Zoom call?
They could zoom in anytime.
We could zoom in.
Yep.
Cool.
Anybody zoom in, you give them the link and they'll be in on the recording.
All right. Yeah. Let's see if we can work that out. Yeah, Derrick Henry's coming back. If he stays healthy, at least 1,500 to 1,600 yards is hittable.
Got Robert Woods.
Yeah, coming in from LA. Most consistent guys on the side just have multiple 80, 90 catch guys. Hold on.
Came from USC. Yeah, he's always
Yeah.
been pretty good. I've watched him throughout his college and his pro career. It's always been really solid. When he's
Yeah.
healthy, of course, like anybody else.
100%. He's getting up there in age. He's at 30 now, but
Yeah,
I
he's a
mean,
little bit older, but
you can see getting done again. The big question on this team is Treylon Burks coming in from Arkansas.
yeah.
The Razorback had 1,000 plus his junior year, as well as over 100 on the ground, so he can come out of the Wildcat, do little stuff like that. There's a high ceiling for this kid. He could potentially become a big time receiver here over Woods. We'll see. Austin Hooper's coming in, tight end. But he really hasn't had a big year yet either. But in this run heavy offense, we're not expecting a tight end to really, get much out like that. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing this year for Tennessee is Vrabel's on the hot seat. I think this is his make or break year. What has he been there? 3-4 years now?
Yep.
They went to the AFC Championship.
They love him over there, man. They
he's
love him.
turned that program
Vrabel.
around. He's
Yeah.
turned them into a defensive program, which he comes from. You see their defense came a lot better. They run the ball. They do what they're good at. They don't try to be somebody they're not. They come at you every week. They know Derrick Henry's coming.
Yeah.
You fucking stop it. Until you stop it, we're going to keep doing the same fucking thing.
Dude,
It frees up
I love that.
Tannehill. It's resurgent.
I absolutely
Tannehill's
love that
career,
kind of football.
100%.
Yeah, I see Zach Cunningham, Bud Dupree, both guys I like. Kevin Byard, solid at free safety. Hooker was decent.
Got good. They don't spend a lot of money, but they get good guys that work in his system for him. And I think he's learned a little bit from Belichick, to be honest with you.
He's part of the same tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played for him. I mean, you saw that bullshit they pulled back and forth at the end of that one game in the AFC. I think it was just a divisional game.
Oh, yeah, with the times, with
Yeah.
the timing.
I mean, but that's the game you play. Just like when I play softball, you play the game. Like it's part of the game. You just have to be smarter. It's a chess match.
Yeah, that's something about football I've noticed, especially since betting more and getting more into gambling and stuff. All right, it's much more a game. You're not really battling the other team so much as you're just battling the clock.
Oh yeah.
You're finding a way to work within the clock. I can tell pretty much around the third quarter how a game's going to end, how this is going to be going.
Unless you get the teams like the Chiefs and
We just blow it open.
yeah, just keep short. Or the even Buffalo, they got in a shootout in the AFC Championship last year. How many times they score in like 2 minutes? Like
Yeah, they're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
That's not good coaching. That's just them scoring. Like you got to be strategic.
Yeah, that was the Kelsey game,
Yeah.
right? Kelsey went off. He had like fucking 200
I
something
mean,
yards.
nobody had any clue that fucking Patrick Mahomes was going to throw a touchdown with 12 seconds or some shit. But
Patio home, baby. Touchdown, my homies. But yeah, I like their defense. It's pretty solid. Who do you have coming in after the Titans? I've got Jacksonville coming in 3-14 last season, bringing in touchdown Trevor. I haven't seen much at all enough of Trevor Lawrence to not call him a bust.
young team, very young team.
Very young team. We'll see kind of where they go.
I think he needed somebody bigger in front of him, somebody older, somebody. He needed. I mean, who they got it? What's the quarterback room in there?
Yeah, so I'm seeing, from Antonio. He's a big Jacksonville guy. Yeah, Olucon is on that defense. He led the league in tackles, had like 187 tackles last year at linebacker. They got Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, because he was on the field all the time playing fucking defense. The fucking offense sucks dick. Yeah, of course you're gonna lead the league. You probably led the league in minutes on the fucking field too. The defense is. Oh my God.
Nelson
Like,
Lloyd,
what the fuck?
Darius Williams, Christian Kirk should be good. I'm really excited to see how ETN plays out. I gambled on him in my fantasy league.
I liked him coming out of Clemson. I think him and Lawrence.
Good chemistry.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence have a good chemistry. The only big thing is, what is his second year? Yeah, and he's coming off a fucking foot injury last year.
Mhm.
And he was the 25th pick of the last draft. Like, you got a lot of shit to prove this year, man. Like,
Yeah, this team definitely
he had a
does.
great year in Clemson. Like, I like the kid, but it's time to put out now.
Yeah, man. And I was watching the draft, and you're always wanting to see something exciting happen during the draft, especially as a Jets fan. We always end up busting something up, like making a big move. But to see that, the Jaguars busted the draft open with the first pick. Everyone was saying Aiden Hutchinson, all the guys, Aiden Hutchinson. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go and take Trayvon Walker. I'm like, yes, that was the best pick for them. I was so happy about that pick, especially he's a Georgia boy. We love our Bulldogs here. I think he's going to be a monstrosity over there. I love Trayvon Walker, man. That was such a good pick for them.
But for Trevor Lawrence, they do have a lot of veteran wide receivers in the room with them. Christian Kirk, Jones Jr., Agnew, Jones, even at tight end with Ingram. So, I mean, he's got a lot of experience around him. Let's see if he can learn and mold him into a franchise quarterback that they want him and they see him as. So
let's see how that offensive line does. I want to see them protect Trevor.
That was maybe a new coach in there that's not fucking getting.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said you like the fact that they brought Doug Peterson in.
Yeah, I'm not a Peterson fan whatsoever. Fuck him, no piece of shit. But I mean, it's gonna be good for that franchise and that team to turn around. Like,
yeah,
because I mean, they weren't going nowhere. Then all this shit with Urban Myers kind of toppled of it. I mean, they've been the laughing stock of the league for a while. Their attendance in games has gone tremendously down. Like, can't even give games away. So yeah, they need something to spark the fire out in Jacksonville, or it's not gonna be alive very long.
Yeah, and the franchise as a whole, because the Khan family, I guess it is pouring a lot of money into AEW and the wrestling promotion.
Yeah,
and it's just hemorrhaging money, and he's just constantly putting more money on it because he's a wrestling mark. So I'm kind of worried about how that situation ends up playing itself out.
You got to pick one. You can't get in a ball.
Antonio says you're salty.
Salty Jacksonville, really?
Yeah, he's a Jacksonville fan.
I've had more rings than they've been in the fucking league. No, I'm just saying, like, Jacksonville's just not a very good team, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're on the up and up.
I mean, they've had their time.
Yeah, Trevor doesn't throw for like 4,000 yards this year. It's a complete bust, though.
I just don't think he should have been the top draft. Like,
me neither. I didn't like him. I didn't like him at Cartersville.
It's so fucking. They're all at home, Anthony. I don't keep them with me. I gotta go through metal detectors and shit all the time. I do have replica rings, though.
He says he wants to show you some hands.
I'll show him them hands.
You'll see him at the wedding. He's in the bridal party.
Man, he gonna catch the hands. Faded, boy.
Faded. You're gonna fade your ass.
No, they're young, but they also have some experience. But Trevor Lawrence wasn't what they needed. They needed to go out and just get experience. I don't see them winning anything. That division's the laughing stock of the AFC, to be honest with you.
Yep. So competing with them big time this year is going to be Houston for the most irrelevant team in the division and possibly the conference. They've had a good, pretty good offseason. They had a good offseason, good preseason.
There's not much going on there. They're looking for picks now with Deshaun Watson and all that shit they're getting.
Yeah, Davis Mills.
Total
rebuild mode. Davis Mills. Damian Pierce looks like a breakout candidate. I'm seeing a lot of stuff about this running back, Damian Pierce. I know he went up quick in the running back rankings for fantasy, at least. We'll see how that does. Brandon Cooks is solid. I like Brandon Cooks. Nico Collins, we talked about him.
Yeah.
We talked about Nico a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he's had a really great preseason, so it's going to be exciting to see what goes on from there.
Yeah, they need somebody big-bodied over there alongside Cooks.
Philip Dorsett.
Yeah, tight end room.
Where's that cricket button at?
Cricket.
You got that cricket button yet? No, we'll have it next time.
Cricket's at tight end. Cricket McGee is starting at tight end.
Listen, it's never good when you have Rex Burkhead as your second fucking running back on the depth chart. Like,
you're not a Rex Burkhead guy?
I am, but not fucking second.
Not in Houston?
Maybe in third, yeah, but not second.
Dude, I don't know. That team's got some dog in them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit. There's gonna be some fight, but we don't expect anything out
Yeah.
of them whatsoever.
Defense wise, Malik Collins could be solid. I like Christian Kirksey.
I mean, there's some upside there, but at the same time, they're rebuilding. They'll never come out and
Stingley,
say.
they got Stingley. Forgot about Stingley. He's LSU, right? DBU. I mean,
no coach ever comes out and say we're rebuilding, but like the Falcons, they're rebuilding. This
Falcons
team,
are rebuilding.
Houston is rebuilding.
Jacksonville's still building something.
Well, no, I mean they had Mark Burnell for a while. That was a long time ago. Wasn't it? Or was that Washington? He played for?
Did you watch Hard Knocks? Did you see Hard Knocks?
I haven't watched. I've been.
Dude, he's sitting there with Antoine Randall L. There's talking with one of the other receivers came and they was talking to Randall L. And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's like, what quarterback did you who'd you have throwing to you back then? He's like, oh, I had Mark. He's like, Mark. He's like, Coach Brunell, right across the sideline. was throwing to him. Brunell was 12 years in the league, and now Randall L was like 6 years. But yeah, what's going on, CJ? You're just coming at the tail end of the show.
So they got a rewind button for.
Yeah, that's why I got a rewind button. We are, reminding everybody out there, all our millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of viewers that we are live every Tuesday between 8 and 9. And we are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
So go listen when
you can listen to the whole show. It was a long show.
Really, I'm one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
He smokes like 30 packs a day. That's why he sounds like that.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, not much from Houston. I think they're gonna be shitty. But the little bright spot, Derek Stingley, Brandon Cooks. We'll see what Nico Collins and Damian Pierce will be. It'll be really interesting to see how they play these rookies and play these young kids. So hopefully they can develop them.
Yeah, I think they're all playing for contracts and shit like that, really, just to see what's up with that team.
But yeah, that's it. That's all we got for y'all tonight. We did the full AFC recap, best and worst. We got best in the AFC is going to be the Bills. Worst is going to be Houston easily. AFC East looks a lot more competitive this year. Bills to win the AFC East. We got Chiefs to win the AFC West. We've got who did we say for the North? I had Bengals winning the North, and we've got Indy winning the South. Hand over fist. God,
I got the Chargers winning the West.
Yeah, get me wrong. But yeah, that's it. Next week. Yeah, maybe. We're looking. If somebody wants to join us next week, we'll bring you in too. We're gonna be breaking down all the news, all the happenings from now until then. The 53-man roster cut down, which happened at 4:00 today, so there really wasn't much time to delve much into it. Like you said, we didn't really hear too much happening.
How about week one preview?
Week one preview. Finally, next week, our next show will be the last show we do before we have football for real.
We'll make our predictions.
God, predictions. We're gonna go game by game, team by team.
Maybe not.
Everybody's playing, so it'll be 16 games. We're going every single game. We're gonna be talking about delving into prediction on every single one of them. Definitely.
But we gotta pick.
Bro, we just did 16.
We gotta pick
teams.
5. We picked five teams. Five games a week. We each pick our top 5 games.
We're gonna preview every single game.
We'll preview every game, but we only make picks on 5.
I'm making picks on 16 games.
How do you no?
It's very easy, dude. We just did 16 teams. We just did 16
I think
teams.
we should only pick 5. Look at all the top shows. They don't ever do that. They pick like 5 games. That's it. These are the top 5 games we're picking.
You want to do top 5?
We'll do top 5 games.
We give it to the community. However many games you want us to do, we'll do top 5. But yeah. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for continuing to support us. I'm getting a lot of really positive feedback from a lot of people. People coming to me, texting me, talking to me on Facebook, telling me they're enjoying the show. They're watching it not just live, they're watching it the next days. Or we're trying to upload. I want to get this uploaded by tomorrow night, if at all possible. Try to get this done so we can be up, cock, block, ready to rock for the next show. But
make sure you like, subscribe, rewatch. Make sure you listen on Spotify, rate us. We appreciate everything.
Yep. If we get Apple, if we end up getting 100 downloads on Apple, Jamie's gonna show his titties next week. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Wait for a beep. Dial 59 and hit the pound. Okay, so I'll talk to you later.